Arise, minions, and batten down the hatches as we leave behind the safety of the Humblewood to check in with the crew of Dark Fortunes.
Hello, hello. I'm Rory, aka Final Gambit, and I am playing Silence Furuiken, Level 2 Mapok Warlock.
Hi, I'm Mike, and I'm playing Mimir Elderbrand, the Level 2 Corvum Bard.
Hi, I'm V Muse, and I'm playing Sionnach MacTyre, Level 2 Vulpin Fighter.
Hi, I'm McLokin. I'm playing Auryn, the Level 2 Servant Barbarian.
Hi, my name is Johnny. I'm the Dungeon Master. Welcome to the Dark Fortunes podcast.
Previously on Dark Fortunes. With seabirds circling a capsized vessel, the decision to investigate was easily made. However, the massive silvery white creature in the water gave them all pause. But the secrets this hull may hold is too juicy a prize to ignore.
Rats! Rats everywhere. Jumping out of Mimir, crawling all over his body. Rats.
I had a dream about this once.
Hey, Mimir.
You have rats about me?
Hey, I just want to say rats off to you.
I hate this whole cast now because of you, Joe.
All right, Mimir, what's your AC?
Bad.
They're gonna get a surprise attack.
It's 11 because I took my armor off.
Don't succumb to peer pressure.
Yeah, all of the rats hit me. Tell me how bad the rats kill me, please. You nat 20'd on rats, didn't you?
I'm so sorry.
How does Mimir die? I just want to say, the only non-combative we have has died already. He's taken, like, the most damage. How does he die again?
All right, so if I remember correctly, when we talked about a crit in with players, they get full damage. I am not going to do that. I'm not going to do that from non-player characters or mobs or anything of that sort.
I mean, I'm fine with it. Let it happen. Let's just let it, the dice fall where they may.
You are going to take 12 points of damage then.
Okay, he's still up.
Amir, I'm going to give you... Yeah, go ahead and react. Go ahead and react at this point.
I cry and pee a little. What does Mimir do? He screams, absolutely. Like, in the most effeminate scream you could imagine a crow making. He squawks, is what happens. He absolutely squawks. And then, I can't even run away. They'll just attack me more. What do I do? You know what? I know what I do. I squawk and then begin to flap my wings crazy. And I am casting the spell Gust Barrier. It reads, you spread your arms wide, allowing yourself to become enveloped by the air around you. Until the end of my next turn, any range attacks against me is made with disadvantage. Melee attackers who successfully hit you must make a Constitution saving throw, or they are flung away from me at 10 feet.
Constitution saving throw, huh?
Yep.
So these things all start to just like jump around and to like start to bite at you and starting to nibble at you, but you squawk and react and you start to flap. And all of them are sent flailing back.
Perfect.
Like they all just kind of go like fly all back. And that's where we're going to roll initiative.
I hate it.
Is that for everyone?
At this point, yeah, sure. Let's because you're gonna you if you were above the water and heard Mimir, or you come up, you're gonna hear Mimir anyways, or something. I think only one's not really paying attention is Auryn, who is going for cargo at this point. But
Yeah, I'm still doing cargo stuff, so I don't know if I'm actually above water or not. But
I'm still gonna have you roll initiative anyways.
Okay, I'll do it.
I rolled a 14 plus 2, 16.
Okay. Everybody else?
I rolled a 15 plus 2, 17.
17, 16. What else?
15 for silence.
Okay.
I think V said something, but she was super quiet.
We can't hear you. Oh, 16? Okay. All right. Well, the rats, they rolled a 13. Imagine that.
Ooh.
All right. So, Mimsy is going to go first since both Mac and Mim rolled at the same.
Orange at a 17.
And Auryn's
Well, yeah. So, but because of the 216s, I'm going to say that because Mim is in the middle of the fight, and Mac's going to be reacting however she reacts. So, Auryn, this is a combat situation, but you're not even remotely aware. But what are you doing at this point? Can you describe that to us, just so we have a sense of when you actually get sucked into this, when the sucked in gets happening?
So Auryn had already been descending while everyone was still talking and deciding that they were going to jump in the water too. And so he was just going to the closest cargo box that he could find and bring it back up.
All right, so that's going to be your action for this time. But as you're servicing and bringing it back up, you hear Mim sort of squawk and doing his thing as he's having his reaction, and it's getting loud and noisy, which means we're going to cut to Mim. These things are 10 feet away from you, most of them off in the direction, in front of you or to the sides of you. But you see that they're starting to kind of regroup and start to head back towards you. But it looks like there's more of them.
He continues squawking. Rats! There are rats! Rats everywhere! There are rats! And he disengages, and he runs quickly to the hole and begins to clamber out of the hole.
Okay.
And I think he's going to climb up higher on the top of the ship, on the overturned ship.
On the overturned ship, and probably kind of find himself towards where the keel is.
Yeah.
Sort of the crest of the ship. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Mac, Silence, you come back up in the water, and you're kind of taking your airs of breath, and that's when you see Mim sort of scrambling and beginning to kind of make his way and moving. You hear him screaming something about rats.
There are so many rats! There are rats inside the ship! They're everywhere! There's so many rats! All of the rats! Every rat I've ever seen is inside the ship!
Can you say it higher?
Probably! There are so many of them! In there! Down there!
All right.
I'll write a song about it later. Just kill them!
All right. And she'll start swimming towards swimming to get up and on and into the area where Mimsy is frantically squawking and flapping and pointing.
So I imagine you swim there and you're able to kind of grab on and you pull yourself up, and as you do, you can see the rats are trying to kind of jump up and make their way towards the hole itself. They're just they're really swarming, and there's a lot of them.
You see them? It's full of rats. It's like the whole ship was made of rats.
That sometimes happens, yes, but this is a little bit ridiculous.
Silence! If there are rats on the ship, it's your job to kill them.
Only for our ship.
That's what I mean.
Are we talking endless wave of rats that she's seeing, or
No, there's just a lot of rats.
there's a lot of rats?
There's probably a swarm, I believe, is somewhere between 20 and 30.
Uh-huh.
There's about double that.
Oh, good God. How badly do you want to try and get things from this ship?
There's magic below deck. Deeper than this one.
Damn it, I thought you'd say that. She's going to try staying on top of the ship itself, not going in.
Okay.
Starting just to swing, almost use the hole as sort of a bottleneck.
Okay.
And just start attacking whatever rat is showing itself as they try and come through the opening.
All right. Make me an attack at disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
Because you made your move, you're trying to get up, and it's like you're trying to hold on and swing at the same time.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. So let's see if I make it. And with disadvantage, that is going to give me 15.
You definitely hit.
Oh, okay, cool. 1d6. So then with my scimitar, that's going to be 6 point slashing.
Okay. So describe to me, as you're kind of holding on, what this looks like as you're kind of slashing around and you take out what looks to be a number of the rats, a quarter of them are just all sort of they're jumping, and you're able to slice and you're swinging back and forth. Tell me what that looks like.
So pulling myself up with my left arm, it's sort of getting myself hoisted enough so I could rest the weight of my body against the rim of the opening of the hole and my arm itself. And then rather than slashing open arm, I'm actually going to draw my arm across my chest with the scimitar so the blade is facing out towards the rats, and just do a sweeping motion of hacking through them, knowing my blade would be sharp enough to kind of start decapitation or slicing them through.
You get some through the middle of the body, some you kind of slice, through the lower half. A couple of heads go rolling. One goes right down the middle, so like the rat from head to toe just kind of goes like this, kind of like it splits apart from the head all the way back to the tail itself. Whereas I try to describe it and use my hands and realize I need to describe it for the podcast. All right, so you're able to kind of do that, and they're all just kind of they're continuing to kind of jump and aggressively sort of attack you. To which we cut to Silence. Silence, you see this situation as Mac has swum up and kind of grabbed on. You see Mim on the keel, just kind of like freaking out a little bit.
Oh boy. Silence will realize that he can't really use his two-handed sword, probably in this situation. So he'll unsheath his wakizashi, his small little short blade at his hip, and point at the swarm of rats and say "Furuiken noroi," and this small glimmer kind of appears from his finger, and for a brief second surrounds the rats before dissipating, and I've just done my Hexblade curse upon them. Not on a singular rat, seeing how it's a swarm, so I guess I Hexblade cursed the idea of rats in a swarm.
Okay.
And then I would like to cast Eldritch Blast through my wakizashi at them.
And you're doing this while you're in the water. You're pulling out your smaller sword, and then you're pulling out your larger sword, and you're doing this all from the water.
Yeah, I got 4 minutes of breath. I think I'll be okay.
Okay. All right.
Don't you challenge me, sir.
I am totally challenging you on this one, but go for it anyways.
All right, fair enough. 10 plus 15, or 10 plus 5, 15.
All right. So, in Silence's mind, as the energy of this kind of blasts out, describe to us what Mac sees as she's at the hole itself, as some of these rats are hit by your Eldritch Blast.
So it would seem like some of the mage armor that I have, like, slightly puffed up around my skin, and these small flickering flames coalesce at the tip of my dagger and then shoots out in this crackling orb of purple-black energy, and smacks through a few of the rats. Any rat that does get impacted and like flies away from it through damage kind of shrivels up and curls its feet as it dies. As I take away some of the swarm.
She's got a big, broad grin on her face, seeing this destruction, and like just sort of like tips her head in approval.
Nice. All right. Let me roll damage. Uh, 4 plus 2 is 6 damage. 6 force
All right.
damage.
More of these things, burn and fizzle and poof and kind of, vanish in front of your eyes, Mac. As we cut to their attack. At this point, the rats are just kind of like, they're still sort of frenzied and kind of moving, right? And they're both kind of like, they're the large group of them, while they're still diminished, are still kind of like, aggressively trying to make their way forward and kind of attack you. And so you see rats that are trying to kind of jump up and kind of doing this, and they're going to roll their attack at disadvantage because you are clearly in a position. Plus, you also there's also going to be 3/4 cover based on the way you described, like the way you're holding yourself. So, what's your AC?
15.
First one's a miss. Second one rolled off. Second one is a miss. So they're both they're jumping up and they're trying to snap at you, but they just keep failing to be able to do so. Which takes us. Do you want to?
Yes. So as they're like trying to, she's actually snapping back at them now, like snarling, showing her fangs, and as one tries to lunge at her, she, snaps right back.
Okay. And so that sort of there's this weird sort of guttural sort of thing that's going on between. There's an aggressive sort of instinctual sort of reaction going on from you, and then the rats are reacting that way. Mim, you're seeing this situation and you're watching sort of Mac and the way that they're kind of doing this, and you're just it's a little unsettling to see. as this is all happening. And so we go back to the top of the initiative order. And Auryn, as you're kind of like coming up out of the water and you're starting to push, you're starting to see that the crew is actually engaged in something. Mim is on the keel, on top of the hull. Mac is, kind of swinging her way at something inside of this gaping hole, and you see that Silence is kind of doing, focusing and forcing something forward, like with his magic, with his blade and his hex magic.
So for my action, can I put the cargo thing in the boat?
As your bonus action?
No, as an action, like taking, like I see what's going on, and then I just like take the cargo I got and like kind of put it in our little boat that we got.
Sure, you can totally do that.
And then can I swim over and climb up?
For your movement, yes, you can do that.
Okay, and I'm just gonna be like, what happened? Looking at everyone.
There are rats inside the boat.
Okay.
They attacked me.
Did you? Okay.
We're attacking them back, Auryn.
Okay. I think Silence should be able to kill a rat.
There's hundreds of them.
Help kill the rats.
Okay.
You want to swing and kill at something. Now's the time. And she's still like hanging on and shouting this.
Then Auryn goes and takes out his great axe. Can he fit in?
Sadly, no. Given the fact that you have this beautiful sort of like thing, you've got this, this beautiful, set of antlers. These 14 points. Yeah, it's going to be really hard for you to kind of get your head in there and navigate. But you can see inside, and you probably could swing your axe if you tried to.
Okay, that's what I'm going to try to do. Is just kind of do that where I go and just like do that on my next turn. But like I'm just positioning myself, and it's like, I can't fit, but I'll try to swing at them.
Okay. To which we then switch to Mimir, who is on, top of the ship at this point on the keel, watching, Auryn sort of climb up and do his thing. You can see that Mac is continuing to swing, and Silence is in the water, blades out, ready to focus his energy again.
So I imagine the tear in the ship is like, tear shaped, like an oval, and he's going to lay flat on the ship. So and peek his head in and just start gesticulating wildly and shouting, "Take that, you shitty rats, and that, and that, and this!" And I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery on the swarm of rats. Do I have to make? I don't think I have to make a tech roll. I think they make a dodge roll. That's right. Yeah, they make a Wisdom saving throw.
Oh my god!
I forgot how to bard. It's been weeks of talking.
We all know that shit talking is the natural apex predator to the swarm of rats.
Totally. I mean, honestly, I think your bard and my bard would get along famously because her inspiration is always a sarcastic remark about the other person's abilities.
Perfect.
What is the condition that it bestows on them?
Disadvantage, and they take damage.
But what is the condition type that would be kind of represented here?
Psychic damage.
Okay, all right, that works. That's
they
fine.
they take 1d4 psychic damage, and then they take disadvantage on their next attack roll.
It's unbelievable how many things that rats are immune to.
Perfect. Right. So there's no conditions. Disadvantage and psychic damage.
Right. So that's. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't some sort of condition that was conveyed here. So.
Nope. Just sass.
Dismay.
Yeah.
But nothing's immune to dismay.
13 is the save.
Yeah, they did not make it.
Okay. They take 4 points of psychic damage, and they have disadvantage on their next attack roll.
Okay.
Attack action or just one roll?
The next attack roll before the end of its next turn.
Okay. So weird behavior as the three of you that are looking through the hole begin to kind of see that some of the rats are in response to this, like, you take that and you take that from Mim. There's like less energy or momentum or like viciousness behind some of their attacks. Like some of them are hesitant about making the jump. Like the ferocious nature of sort of the swarm has like started to diminish a little bit for this particular swarm. So, all right. That leads us to Mac.
Okay, so I think what she'd actually do is still sort of realizing she can see better into what's happening from how she's positioned, is keep that going and basically try and do the same thing. Get a slice in with her scimitar. Is that going to still be at disadvantage, or
no? Because you now like there's been a round of like you kind of figuring out and kind of stabilizing yourself. So yeah, it's not a disadvantage at all.
Okay. So then that is going to be, oh my goodness, where did I go with my, there it is. Okay, so then that is 12.
Yeah, roll me some damage.
Okay, then damage on that is going to be 9 points slashing.
Okay, so you're like the same thing happens as before. More slicing, more kind of slashing, more like heads rolling, tails falling off. Another one is sort of slicing in sort of a weird sort of diagonal kind of a way, right? The group of them is starting to sort of look diminished a little bit. Like there's at least like half of them have been taken care of, but they're still kind of swarming and just kind of trying to come up and make their attack, which leads us to Silence.
Silence waves slowly, like in slow motion, with his small short sword out once more, and then focuses the dagger back out and shoots another Eldritch Blast.
Do it.
Yeah, 2 plus 4, 6.
Yeah, the energy just kind of like flows out from the blade and sort of dissipates before it actually kind of hits that, and that's when you feel like there's a bump at towards your feet, and you kind of look down as it kind of distracts you, and you realize that there's some debris that's just kind of like bumped you in the foot and kind of made you feel a little weird for just a second.
Well, it feels good. I mean, a little confidence. It's in short supply for that poor boy. Yeah, won't utilize any movement, so he'll just pass his turn on.
Okay. All right. And now it's the rat's turn. So the rats are, continuing to try to do their thing and just, make their attacks and kind of jump up. But they're definitely losing sort of their vigor for this and their ferociousness for it. But they're going to try to attack Mac again. So that roll looks like does an 18 hit. Oh wait, this is at disadvantage because they're vicious mockery. Sorry. Yeah, you know what? They're embarrassed. They can't even get the jump up, and when they kind of bite at you, it never lands. They just hit a nat 1. So the first group sort of attacks, and they're trying to kind of snap at you, and nothing happens. The second group, yeah, both don't land. So again, jumping up, trying to get and just no attack, no attack landing. So we're going to flip to the top of the initiative order, where we find Auryn kind of looking in, but unable to really kind of stick his head in. But his axe and his arm can kind of get in there.
Okay. How many rats are left, or can I not really see?
You can't really get a sense of the number, but you get an understanding that they're not as vigorous and energetic as before. So there's a lot less.
Okay. I have 2 things that I want to do. I want to swing my axe in there and see if I can hit them to damage them. My other question is, can I use my bonus action to snatch one?
All right. So tell me how Auryn is holding himself in a position to be able to not interfere with what Mac is doing, but also swing his great axe in a way that gets these things.
Where is Mac?
I believe she's held on the bottom side of
It's like the bottom portion of the hole. I have my left arm hooked up and over in that, so it's really just my upper shoulders and free arm that's in the whole area.
Okay, if I know where Mac is at and Silence is next to me at the top of the hole and with Mimsy, what I'm gonna do is just kind of take an account of where Mac is, put my arm in, and kind of swing to avoid that, kind of like doing an up and down swing, and seeing how many rats I can behead at once.
Okay. I'm going to have you roll for that particular motion. But while we're talking about what that's going to be, I need to know how then you're also going to kind of reach in as a bonus action and try to grab one of these things. Like what? Because you're only holding on to one side and you're kind of using your great axe to kind of swing, doing the other thing. So what? How do you like grab one of them in all of that sort of like activity?
So when I stick my arm in and I swing and I bring it down, he imagines what's going to happen is that they're going to come try to bite his arm. And what I'm going to do is like pull the great axe out, grab it with my other hand, and then just reach in and see if I can grab one.
All right, make me the attack first. Let's see how this goes.
Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Okay. I'm not raging, so I'm taking that into account. Ooh, nice. 14 damage.
Oh. You swing and you see in that great motion, the three of you that are looking through the hole, that motion just obliterates rats left and right, catching them all at different angles at different times, but like the blade just kind of slices through a large group of these things, and there are just carcasses everywhere as the rats are mostly diminished at this particular point. There's a couple are scurrying and still trying to figure out what they're going to do, kind of jump up a little bit, but aren't. Now, one of them is jumping up towards your arm as you try to reach in and do the other thing. You grab your axe out of your hand and you reach in. Now, give me a sleight of hand or a straight up dex check.
Let's do that dex check. 12.
All right, you're able to kind of grab one and pull it out, and it's like sort of squirming and trying to bite you, but it's just like squirming right there in your servant sort of like hook paw or hand.
I grab it and like I have my arm, my hand is like around its like little paws and its head is out where it can't like reach over and bite, and I just start petting the top of its head as I put my great axe on my back, and I'm like, hello, and I'm petting it.
Mimsy, this madness is happening right freaking next to your head. What are you doing?
I just accept that Auryn has a childlike wonder. How many rats are left?
There are very few left, and there's you can start to see some of them, lose interest in the situation and start to slip away.
I think he will continue to scorn the rats
Okay.
as he is still laying down, and he says, "That's right, you ran away. You had picked the wrong crew today, rats. You terrible creatures." And I will again do vicious mockery. So DC 13.
Does a crit save against that?
It doesn't actually. They take 100 damage.
All right, so the rats naturally save against that. As you can see that has zero effect on their their continued sort of attack. Mac,
It counteracts whatever Auryn's doing. They're not sure what to do.
Right. So the rats are mostly sort of scattered at this point. There's just a few stragglers that are still trying to be aggressive towards you, but it looks like they're mostly sort of like out of vigor at this point. So what do you do?
Well, that seems to have done the trick. And hoist myself up.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go into the opening.
Okay. So you drop down, the last little bit of the swarm just kind of, that's your motion, that's your movement. They all kind of swarm around you a little bit, but there's very few left. You should be able to take them out pretty quickly.
Oh yeah, I'm like growling and snapping at them, and I'm gonna, well, now because I have both my arms, and I'm a 2-weapon. Yes, I am a 2-weapon. So I'm gonna attack with both of the scimitars, darling. And let's see what we get going. Okay, so that is going to be a 15 to hit.
Absolutely.
And let's see. First scimitar, my right hand will do 10 points slashing. Left hand will do 6 points slashing. And it's sort of like they cross the arms and just sweeping them across in front of me.
As that motion goes through and completes, you hear the last little squeak and squabble as the last couple of them scatter and make their way back into the hold itself.
Okay.
And the combat has ended.
Excellent. take a step forward and take a little bit of pleasure in hearing the squish of one of the carcasses underneath my boot.
Can I get another one?
We all know that the worst part about playing a spellcaster in your favorite 5th edition fantasy RPG is having to write down all of the intricate details of every spell in your notebook, or flipping to the back of the book every time you forget what a spell does. But what if I told you there was a better way? Lucky for you, there is. Our friends over at Hit Point Press are launching their new Kickstarter for the Deck of Many animated spells. This new Kickstarter will include waterproof, artistic renderings of spells levels 6 through 9, as well as a fully animated tarot deck for all your soothsaying needs. Not to mention, animated condition cards if we hit our stretch goals. So if you want to enhance your level of play at the table, head on over to rebrand.ly/DFP spells and pledge for your very own deck of animated spells. That's rebrand.ly/DFP spells, and be sure to tell them Dark Fortunes Podcast sent you. And as always, happy gaming.
If you want to go chasing after it, sure.
Oh, I can't go after it.
What are you?
That's the problem.
Why do you have a rat?
I'm going to keep it. I'm going to call it Bubbles.
They eat our food stores.
I'll feed it berries.
I don't think you have a choice. They do whatever they want. They're rats. They're treacherous
Well,
creatures.
I will befriend it and be like Bubbles, berries. And Bubbles will love berries. And look how cute he is. And I'm holding it up to his face. And it's like... he's so adorable. Look at him. He's at like that anger. It's so precious.
Sionnach, he's your crew member when he acts like that.
She's in the... What are you talking about?
He's your crew member when he acts like that.
What's he doing? I can't
He wants
see
to
it.
bring this rat on your ship.
Can you tame it?
Sure.
That's not confident.
You have a week to tame it or I kill it.
Okay. Well,
Great.
if I can't tame it, can I kill it?
Sure.
Okay.
What is wrong with you people?
Silence. We can tame this.
Okay,
Look
senpai.
at
However, it will have to pull its share on the boat.
Yes, we can train him to do things.
Oh, well, good.
I don't know what yet, but
There will be no slacking under my command.
all right.
The entire crew has lost their mind. Sea madness, I believe that's what it's called. I think the captain's afflicted.
Hello, Bubbles.
Is it called a mutiny? Tyranny? Mutiny? Mutiny? I think I could take over the boat. I just need to take the big guy, Dolan. You listen to what I say. That's fair. Okay, well,
Mimsy, were you going to come down here and check things out or not?
coming.
Sure.
And he like scrapes down the side of the boat and then hops in. Okay, so this is all mundane, whatever. We can steal it or float it over to the boat and take it. I don't know how much was rat infested. I don't know how much is usable or what it is. But below this floor that we are on is something magical.
Something
Johnny,
magical.
Johnny, did I have time to search this whole floor, like walk the length of this whole floor with my
You did
magic
not
eyes?
have time to like search the entire floor when the
Okay.
rats attacked.
Okay, I haven't finished searching this entire floor, but I can do that now, as long as there are no more rats.
Sure, give it another look-see. And, Auryn, could you
Yes.
cut yourself into this area? Use that axe of yours.
Okay. What I do, I look at the rat. I'm holding the rat. I have to find something to do with it. So I move back to the ship. The pendant's still on there, right?
The pendant is still on the rowboat, yes.
Okay. What I do is I cut a strip of it and I tie it up around the rat so it can't move. And then put it on the little boat.
Okay.
And then go back and then start beating the ship. And then I look at Silence and I was like, did I do the prison knot? Holding the rat up.
It needs a little bit of work, senpai, but it will serve its purpose.
Okay. Bubbles, I've acquired you.
You are my acquisition.
You are mine now. So first, let me ask this question, Silence. Are you getting onto the ship or are you going to continue to tread water?
The only thing I could think about is how this rat has become the BPEG, so it's... Yeah. I'll. The captain's going in. I'm going in too.
All right.
What kind of a bosun would I be?
One who is not following his captain's orders for sure.
That's right.
Okay. So I imagine Silence kind of dips in before Auryn starts to hack at the hull. So let's.
Oh, real quick. When I go back, because I have to go into the water, can I see if anything is going on down there?
There's nothing going on.
Okay.
Nothing has changed.
Okay. And then I just kind of go back and do my hacky thing.
All right. We're gonna cut to the interior of the ship with Mem specifically, I believe, searching the hold. Is that was correct?
That is correct.
Mac, Silence, what are you doing while he's doing that?
Are they going through the more mundane cargo in that level we just entered, where all the rats were, just sort of poking and seeing if there's anything either that gives me a clue as to whose ship it could have been, or see if there's anything that might be of use for us on our ship?
Okay.
I would. Silence would keep his one hand on the wakizashi that's still sheathed right now, and put another hand to Mimir, like on his shoulder, and try and funnel in, any of his arcane know-how in order to help Mimir do what he's got to do. Give him some advantage on a roll, guidance, help him out.
Okay. So given the fact that both of you are sort of like all three of you are in the middle of this, just one of you choose among you who's going to roll, and it's going to roll at advantage for a perception check or what have you.
I have a 3.
Yeah, it's higher than mine. I have a 2.
Yeah, same.
All right, so advantage with a 3. Are you shitting me? I rolled 2 7s. So a 10.
The majority of the things that you all find are pretty mundane. They look to be most of the cargo looks to be illegal goods, as if the ship's cargo current effort is to do some smuggling. So various types of spices you find, some illicit sort of pharmaceutical level stuff, herbs and that kind of a thing, and some outlaw different types of alcohol. So mostly like rum runner and that kind of a thing. So you do
great.
find
there are spices here. I could cook with these. This is rum for me to drink.
And the other crew members.
And I did sacrifice all of my wine to dye the ship.
You did, but there's plenty.
So just saying.
There's
and
plenty.
Also, drugs.
Yes. That's sort of in the wheelhouse.
I'm just saying that they're there. I'm not making a judgment call. We need money to build a cabin, so.
I think at this point with Mimir, her default is when he starts going in this direction, she's just pinching the bridge of her nose type of thing.
He crosses on. We've both sold worse.
I know, but we don't know what brought this onto the ship.
Right.
Something tells me rum is rather innocuous. This not so much.
Fair.
Let's not invite whatever the big white creature is in our direction if we can help it.
Understood.
You're going to pocket some, aren't you?
I have already.
That's what I thought. Don't take any more. And I swear to God, if I see something white charging towards us, I am throwing you to it.
Well, that's rude.
No, it's self-preservation. Your favorite thing.
I wonder if it talks.
She does outrank you, Mimir. It would make sense.
That is true. On the ship she does, but we're not on her ship.
Ooh.
Well, you're welcome to stay on this ship. I'm sure the rats have other friends.
Well, okay, let's not be hasty here. Perhaps we look around and leave quickly. I have a box to figure out after all.
Yes, you do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to cut to Auryn. Start hacking at the ship, buddy. Tell us what happens.
I just have basically wherever the hole is.
Mhm.
How's the hole look? Like, is it like it's too low for me, or like it's just not wide enough?
It's just not wide enough to accommodate your antlers.
Okay. Then what I start doing is working on one side and then going to the other until I can get in freely. So I'm just like and just bashing it.
Make me an attack roll. And it's a really easy sort of like DC or like AC or whatever. Like, you do, what's the number?
21.
Ooh. Roll me some damage.
Okay, I can do that. 10.
Okay. All right. So you start hacking away, and for whatever reason, you are able to precisely do some nice cuts into the wood, and it doesn't look like it's damaged the ship in any way. Like otherwise, like the stability of the ship. Although you do hear a little bit of cracking coming from the split of the keel as it kind of widens a little bit. But otherwise, you're able to kind of knock enough of the hole open so that you can actually kind of drop in. And as you do, your antlers are scraping against like the side of the ship. Oh, the sort of the bottom of the sort of the deck and the hole and that kind of thing. So.
And then I don't know, did I see where anyone went?
They're basically right in front of you. This is one long sort of cargo hold at this point, and then there's the drop down to the next level where the stairway is.
I made a door.
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Where's the rat?
I put it on the tiny ship. I tied it up with a strip of the pendant.
Of course. Just make sure that we have some sort of cage to keep it in when we get back onto our ship.
I'll hold it in my hands.
The whole time?
Yes. And I'll be like, you are my friend, and you will accept.
What happens when you fall asleep?
I was just about to ask that.
He will nap in my antlers, and Milo will hang out with him as well.
Oh, this could get interesting fast.
Infested in rats in no time.
I never had a pet before.
And
so.
that's why I'm saying yes.
I'm sorry, I think I misinterpreted the relationship between you and Milo then.
As did I.
Milo's my friend.
Like a pet friend.
Did you say best friend or pet friend?
Pet friend.
He's not my pet.
The companions.
Are you sure? They look like a pet to me.
It's like you and I, Mimir, except you're a bigger bird.
And I don't sleep with you.
Thank God.
Well.
I mean, we slept in the same cell for 9 years. 9 seasons.
Let's call it extenuating circumstances.
Yes. What was that word?
It means that because of your situation, there really was no other option.
Oh, yes.
Anyway.
Why are we in here?
To see if we can find something of a more magic nature. We did find rum. Actually, could you get some of this rum into the boat? The smaller boat.
Okay. Is it like barrels of rum?
Yeah, I was going to say, do we have barrels or cases? What are we looking at?
We're looking at barrels of rum, basically.
Grab a barrel. You could probably fit one of those with us.
Okay. Do you want me to load up the tiny boat and then swim it back to them and have it loaded and then swim it back?
She actually kind of just covers her mouth and looks to Mimir's to see what his reaction would be hearing this.
Mimir's eyes just go wide. That would be the greatest idea ever. Just keep going back and forth, take as much as you can, and load up the ship. This is free merchandise that we don't... Like, this I can cook with. I can make your berries taste berry or whatever.
Very good. Yes, Auryn, go for it. If you don't mind, that's a great idea.
Okay. I will...
I like that you are thinking about the rest of the crew.
Yes. And we get stuff because there's no one to claim this stuff, and and whoever had their fight left it behind, so it is free for us to take.
Yes.
Well, he's learning.
Okay. And then I just start grabbing like barrels and like loading up as much as I can on the ship, and then like untying the silk rope from the ship portion and then leaving it tied to where
Silences.
Yeah, where he tied it down.
Yeah.
And tie the other end probably to a floating thing so I can find it again easily. And then swim the boat back and then have the crew do stuff.
Okay.
So currently on the rowboat, you have a barrel of rum.
Couple barrels.
Well, a couple of barrels of rum, one cargo box, and a rat.
Yeah.
I think Mimir is standing at the now enlarged hole in the side, and he like watches Auryn push the boat while swing behind it, and he looks back to Mac and says, "Does he know about the oars and the rowing? Does he know how to?"
Let him have his fun. He's feeling like he's helping.
He's learning to swim.
Exactly.
I feel like he would be faster with those arms, with the oars.
Well, once he gets the way of using it, sure. But right now, I think he wants to do something.
Whatever makes him and his rats happy, I guess.
Exactly. At this point, she'd turn to Silence. As for the rum,
Yes,
it's good for things beyond drinking.
I don't suspect anyone will sabotage it at all, Captain.
Of course not. But I'm just saying, I know you aren't exactly comfortable with excess liquor.
What did you say?
Nothing.
You don't like these secrets.
If you wish it, Captain, I will keep it intact.
I do, just in case we need to make things a little bit more fiery. Let's put it that way.
Silence doesn't understand, but he's going to nod his head like you do. I get you.
Okay, so
You all have sort of like you've explored the sort of the cargo hold, right? And you have marked some items for Auryn to come back and forth with. You've kind of acknowledged and you kind of shift some things to make it available. But sort of the way down that where Mim has like indicated that there is magic is still blocked and below. And when you kind of look at the crate that's kind of like blocking it, it's actually an empty crate. And you're able to kind of shift and easily kind of like push it aside. A couple things sort of like overwhelm you very quickly. First is the sound of water below. So this essentially lower deck from our perspective has taken on water in some way, shape, or form. So the ambient light down there it's not very clear what you can see, but immediately below the hole, you can see rigging and some other things that look like hammock, like sort of like stringed up, like in your immediately peripheral view. And you also see that this drop down is sort of towards the back of the ship, the aft of the ship. There looks to be a door very close and a room beyond that. When you look the other way, it's mostly shrouded in darkness, and there's like little cracks of like sunlight sort of peering in, but you can't really see it, and it's very sort of dark and murky down there.
I don't have any spells with light associated. I will look to Mimir. Silence will look to Mimir and go, Mimir, did you have some form of casting that will allow us to see better?
You know, I don't. Usually when it gets dark out, I stop moving and light a fire.
wait a minute, Silence. Didn't your sword glow at the Colosseum?
I cannot take out my sword unless I have just reason to, Captain.
What if I told you that at any point in time that silvery creature that attacked the ship could come back and is prone to being under the water, which is where we're going? And you would have to protect me and also the captain.
Also, relying on that sword is also relying on Din.
Fair enough.
Well, shit.
A little bit of a cackle in the background for you, Silence.
Good. Cool.
Oh, God.
All right, so how are we proceeding into this situation? What are we doing here?
Mac would honestly go in first, wanting to make sure Mimir isn't attacked first.
All right. So you kind of like grab onto the side, like you were able to kind of grab on and kind of slide yourself over and drop down. and it's a good, 8 feet drop. But as you land, you land in almost hip deep water. The ground under you feels a little like uncomfortable because there's like various debris on it. But as a Vulpine, you've got dark vision. So you can actually take in the scene a little bit more and you can sort of see around you. There are still shadows for you. It's still really dark down here. But what you can see from the ambient light and the way your dark vision works is you see the length of the ship, which is mostly sort of with a crew sort of cabin area. Like that's mostly just rigging and hammocks. And they're all sort of strewn and thrown about. The capsizing of the ship. There's debris along the water all around. And there looks to be like a couple of like chests that have been overturned and are on the ground or like floating in the water sort of towards the far side, towards the front of the ship. The water here is kind of motioning a little bit and it looks like it's, not rising at all to your eyes. But like I said, this is also difficult terrain in this particular situation.
Okay.
You kind of turn around and look around, behind you and you notice that there is a door, and of course because the perspective is upside down, the door looks like there's a little bit of a lip that you would have to step over if you opened it, and the door is sort of slightly ajar, and on the door itself it says Captain.
Okay. She'd look up to where she just dropped down. I'm in hip deep water down here. Silence, you're welcome to jump onto my back once you come down if you don't want to swim.
I can wait, Captain. Do not need to burden you any more than I already have.
All right. Mimir,
Yes, dear.
that thing you do to see if something's worth looking into, can you see it even if it's dark for you?
I can.
Then come on down, dearie.
And he walks to the. Is it stairs, Johnny, or is it the hole? Right.
It's a hole because think about it this way, right? The perspective is the ship is flipped, so the stairway is actually leading up to to the floor above you, right? So yeah.
So he takes a step over to this like doorway kind of thing, and he just spreads his wings and just slowly descends down to this thing.
And your talon feet get wet before anything else, and it's a little uncomfortable because the water is a little cold.
This is fine. I swam here. I'm already wet.
Just put your wing on my shoulder and I'll walk you towards where the captain's quarters are.
Do I see anything glowing?
Remember, the ship is 85 feet long, so you can only see about 30 feet around you. You can see that there is something sort of like shimmering a little bit with a little bit of resonance in the captain's quarters. You can't see towards the end of the other side where there's like almost complete darkness for you because it's really dark down here. Toward where the crew sort of the expanse of the crew quarters towards the front of the ship.
There's something in this room here, but I can't see much further than this. You have to walk me the length of the ship to check everything.
Yes, hang on. That's the captain's quarters. I thought there might be something in there, all things considered. So let's go and check it out.
Perfect. Let's do that.
Excellent.
And he places a clawed hand on her shoulder.
Okay, and the door is in front of you, so I'm assuming you just like open it.
Mm-hmm.
So as you put your pod hands, like you push forward, you hear the creaking sort of grinding sound of the door just sort of slow opening slightly, right? And as you kind of look inside, it's a little bit darker in here, even to your vision specifically, because there's not really any ambient light sort of seeping in from the outside. But you do see that the entire room has been like sort of turned over, and floating on top appears to be a lockbox of some kind, on some other debris.
Is that the magical thing?
Something magical is in there, yes.
Whatever that is. And he like vaguely motions in the direction of that thing.
Got it. And she'll reach her paw out and snag the lockbox.
Also, what is this room? Is this the captain's quarters?
Yes.
Perhaps there's
Captain-
a book of some kind here, or a log, or anything?
You do a thorough search, takes you a minute or two, right? And it's just kind of, you're like digging through the water and everything else. You can't seem to find anything that indicates that.
Okay. And Silence, you came along, yes?
Silence will stand just outside the door of the captain's quarters, and he will say, like, I don't feel comfortable entering without the previous captain's express permission to come
Okay.
inside his quarters.
Considering that the previous captain's no longer here, it's automatically my orders. You're welcome to come in.
I suppose so.
I think it works like if you own a house and I kill you, you no longer own the house, and I can come and go as I see fit.
That's not how Mephididae work in where I come from, but...
Ooh, well.
So I have a question for Mim. I'm looking at Corvum real quick here.
Yes,
You have an ability called the Praising Eye.
I do.
Do you want to use that in this situation?
It's very dark, and I can't
It is
see.
very dark, and it will definitely strain your eyes, which means the ability can only be used once. But there is enough ambient light if you're waiting for like near the hole. You could use that if you wanted to.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, I'll do
All
that.
right. You realize that the lockbox itself is actually the magic item.
Oh,
Like it looks to be fairly simple magic,
yeah.
but there's still something about the box itself that lends itself to magic. And as you're kind of turning it over in your hands, you realize that you pluck this thing out of the water, and yet the surface of this thing feels dry.
Does it resemble the other box at all?
No. This thing is not as ornately made. The designs are not at all. This is a very simple, sort of rudimentary sort of lockbox that somebody would carry with them on a trip or what have you. It's small enough that it feels relatively portable.
He takes the box and, like, not holding it, I assume there's like some kind of handle on it, but he takes it by the sides and then fully submerges it underwater and then pulls it back out.
You plunk it down, and as you're like, you make sure that it's completely submerged, and you pull it back up. You feel the water begin to kind of like move across the surface as it's kind of like, beginning to drip. But at some point, it's like the water, just all moves smoothly off of it and just kind of drips and falls off. And at one point, after like a minute, you realize the box is dry again.
It's a weatherproof box. The box is magical. It can't be wet.
Then that means whatever in the box they want preserved. Usually
And-
something of value.
Right.
I say we get this box back to our ship and see what's in it.
Johnny, you did say we searched this cabin. Was there books of some kind?
There were no books of any kind. There wasn't anything else that indicated like a logbook or anything.
Gotcha. If you don't mind, just walk down this deck, and I can see if there's anything else around here.
We can certainly do that, and then get ourselves back out and meet up with Auryn.
Perfect.
All right.
So we continue.
How do you guys approach the rest of the cabin? So the captain's cabin is sort of like the back side of the boat on the aft side on this lower deck for you. The rest of it is more of an open area where there are hammocks and rigging and different kinds of things, and there's debris sort of hanging. There's like netting that has like personal goods and that kind of a thing, but it's like a spider's web almost of like complexity here. So how do you all move through? Do you take a blade and start cutting, or do you do it intricately? As you can hear the water sloshing throughout this entire place, and also there's the slight sound of like creaking because of the way that the boat is settling.
Mim has a dagger out because of rats, and the other hand is on Sionnach's shoulder.
Okay, and how is Sionnach moving through this?
She's basically taking lead, so it's sort of like, if there's something in the way of they're moving forward, she'll take her scimitar and just sort of slice through it or try and move it out of the way so things are clear for both Silence and especially from Mimir.
Okay.
Since he can't see.
And how is Silence doing with this situation?
I would like to think that he's so fluffy with his fur, and he's got that big tail that he can like almost swim like a crocodile, just like arms tucked in, just kind of like swaying side to side, all sorts of deft and svelte.
What is Silence's height? I don't think I ever caught that specifically.
Let me check real quick.
I didn't think he was that tiny. That hip height water on Mac would be a problem for Silence.
I'll get back to you on that one, but I know he was the runt of his litter, so like
Okay.
just below the average size of a normal Mephididae.
Okay. All right, so the four of you are beginning to move forward as Mac is beginning to kind of slice, and we're going to cut back to Auryn. Auryn, you have dropped off the sort of the first like sort of uh, group of items, and they've been pulled back up, and you hear Milo just say, "Hey, Auryn, take care. I'll check on your buddy. I'll come down there when I don't have to keep watch. I'll take care. You just be careful out there, okay?"
I got a new friend. Look, we have a new friend. And then I look at Dorian and Saint Servant. Can you watch my new friend and find a place where we can keep him?
Dolan kind of reaches down and kind of grabs it as this thing is like aggressive, and he says, "Okay, lad.
It's adorable.
I will see what I can do."
Look how mad it is.
And as Auryn sort of turns around, Dolan immediately kind of takes it and throws it into a bucket, and then just kind of clamps the bucket onto the deck, tied up with the thing that it is, and just kind of like puts his foot on, his like hooved foot on it, and hold on to it as you're kicking your way back. And so we're going to cut back into the interior of the ship.
Real quick before
Go
you
for
do
it.
that, when I go back and start kicking the ship over, I'm doing the perception, so actively like going down, looking and seeing if there's anything in my view of like in the area underwater.
Okay.
Just in case something is there.
You don't see anything in the area. It's again strangely empty.
Okay. And I start kicking back and loading up more stuff.
All right. So we're going to cut back, and to as was indicated to me, Silence also can sort of see in better light here. Mim being the only one who really is, a sucker in the dark. So the three of you move forward, and as you do, you get about 30 feet from sort of the end of the ship, and that's that's Mim, when your eyes start to navigate towards something like that's sort of like a blur. It's a big sort of blur off to the side, off to the sort of the right.
Big. How big?
I'd say like it's almost like a cargo crate size, or there's something there, right? And as you're kind of you're beginning to move forward, Mac, you're getting like the fur on your haunches are starting to like stand on end. Something's up.
Okay.
Mac, dear, there's something over here. Something rather sizable.
Yes, I'm not exactly thrilled with the situation. Something doesn't.
It's big enough that I don't think we can get it out the same way that we came.
How much do you want to get to it?
I don't know what it is, and I'm very curious. If it's not important and we find it, we can leave it. But I don't know what it is until we get to it.
How are you feeling, by the way?
Oh, you mean the biting all over my body? It hurts
Yes.
quite a lot. This terrible, tiny little teeth. Lots of
See, my concern is we get to this little bit of a magical curiosity, and you might take some more bruising and bumping, and then we really have a problem.
Oh, well, I mean, that is inconvenient, but hold on. And he stops for a second and like lets go of a hand on Mac, and then starts to whistle a little tune. And I am casting Healing Word on myself.
Very nice.
4 plus 3, so 7 hit points I regain.
Nice.
See, it's as simple as that. A little tune and you'll feel better in no time.
Of course.
Glad I could help.
All right, if you want to see what this is, we'll check it out. Silence, are you up for this?
Silence. If you look back, Silence was smiling and just kind of nodding his head to the music because he loves music. Oh, yes, Captain.
Actually, Silence, I don't mean to offend, which is rare. If you could turn around and don't look at the thing, just in case.
you know, and he kind of like cocks his head.
I mean, Mimir didn't get a job, was he? Wait, were you quartermaster?
No,
He's in the running.
Oh, okay.
Mimir has no job. Mimir's job is being Mimir.
Silence will say, well, technically I do outrank you, so I do not have to listen to your orders, Mimir, but because we are friends, I will. And then Silence will turn around.
We'll discuss that later. And he puts his hand back on Sionnach's shoulder.
Okay, we'll lead Mimir towards the magical thingy.
Silence will walk backwards with you guys as you're walking forwards. He'll walk
Oh god, I can
backwards.
almost see it was like, the mother with the, grabbing the kid from the back of the shirt for Silence and just like pulling him along, and then
It's Mimir on one hand, and then
Yes.
Mimir's where his hand is holding onto Silence's tail as they slowly
oh
go along.
god.
It is the softest of tails.
Careful, it's loaded too.
Yeah.
Do you condition?
And loaded.
It's very, very soft.
All right. So with that, sort of like that situation and that marching order kind of a thing, you continue to cut Mac, and as you get about 10 feet away, for the first time, you hear some heavy breathing. But it's
great.
heavy and raspy and sort of.
Speak if you want to live.
Leave me be.
Who are you?
Oh, go.
Why?
Just go. The ship is lost. Go.
I mean, I don't want the ship or him. I just want that.
What happened?
Just go.
Die quieter, please.
Mimir, can you heal them?
I mean, I could.
What does Sionnach see with the dark vision?
So when you finally realize that there's something there, your eyes adjust in such a way that you notice that there is a physical form leaning against the backside of one of these overturned sort of chests, and the chest is heavy enough that it's seated, like it's deep in the water, in the surrounding area. So this form, like there's like a little bit of an arm, kind of like exposed, but otherwise you can't see much of that. And as you're sort of taking this in, you realize that this person was doing this intentionally. They were hiding intentionally, like just based on the way that everything is kind of like set up in this particular scene. For Mimir, you realize that the source of the magic is right there. You can't tell exactly what it is, like whether it's the box or the person or if there's something behind, but like that the source of the magic is right there.
Dearie, they're on the magical. What's it?
I hate to break it to you, we're not going anywhere, so perhaps start talking.
That. No, go. He'll find you.
Who will?
It's too late. It's too late. It's too late.
If it's too late, you might as well tell me.
He keeps saying too late, like he believes we're here to save him. I don't think he's realized that we're very much not.
Well, then you tell him that. You're so good with people.
Excuse me, dying sir. It is clearly too late for you, and I don't really give a damn.
And leave.
I'm going to. You're just raspy and talking. I need whatever magical thing you have there, and I can just wait it out until you die, which sounds very soon because you sound very ill. Or we could kill you. And he kind of like looks back and forth to like Silence and Mac, who probably clearly don't want to kill this guy, and just take it. And then either way, I get it. So
there's nothing. There's nothing here for you. Just he'll know if you stay too long.
He who?
let me just take the thing and go.
I don't know. The voice, the sing song voice.
Did the sing-song voice do this to the ship?
I did this to the ship.
Why would you do this to the ship?
I was I was a fool.
Mimir is gonna slowly start to like slosh towards the magical whatever source, and try to suss out what it is as he gets closer. Like he's got like two hands out, like one has the dagger and one's just like you know when you go in the basement you're trying to avoid spider webs. That's what he's doing, trying to avoid things as he slowly like sloshes towards whatever this is.
Is Max still in front of him?
Yes.
All right. So as the two of you like approach closer, no, don't come near me. Don't touch me.
Why? Are you sick or is it contagious or what is going on?
It's your folly.
That's the name of our ship, Captain.
I was waiting for that. Perhaps if you were more clear and succinct, we wouldn't be so curious.
my curiosity has killed me. Don't let it kill you. And the voice goes silent, but you hear some heavy breathing.
My word, he took forever to die.
I don't think
He's still breathing.
I don't think he's dead yet, Mimsy.
Ah, well, at least he's quiet about it.
There's a little bit of snoring going on too.
You think it's worth it?
To push him underwater and let him
Oh dear
take it.
God, we need to have conversations about this.
I don't
know.
Oh, the thing. Oh, yes.
Yes, the magical item.
Like to see. At least to see what it is.
Oh, every fiber in my being is saying don't do this. But considering what we already have to deal with, what's one more?
That's what I said.
You're wearing off on me, aren't I, a lucky girl?
You are so lucky. I can't even. More and more of the crew. Just a little bit of Mimsy.
And he's going to slosh towards that thing.
Oh, God.
All right. So as you both come up with the silence that are sort of like, bringing up the rear, walking backwards, you come upon, the form from the side, and you see the huge sort of like, lock box container, upended and sort of like sinked into the ground. There's clearly a lot of weight there. But as you kind of come up around, you see that this figure sort of like, leaned up against the back of the box, and you can see that there is a rapier blade sort of across its lap, sort of like floating in with its hand, there, half immersed into the water. And you can see that it is a much older Mapok who, looks like the fur is like matted and wet, and there's the outfit is torn, and there's a little bit of blood, but it's not like seeping into the water, like in gushes, right? It's just a little bit of dripping blood there. For Mim, who can't really see all of this detail, what you see is that the magical element, whatever it is, whatever the magic is on his person.
Okay, well, I know I made several jokes about killing him, but the magical thing isn't the giant box. It's actually on him.
On him as in he's wearing it, or he is the magic?
It's definitely not him. It's definitely a smaller object on him.
Okay. Is there any way we can get this fellow out of here?
He's a pretty sizable Mapok, but you can try to sort of like, either corral him or like, basically take him and try to like carry him off if you want to.
Well, I mean, if there's water, couldn't we feasibly like try and get him to lie back and float him?
You could. He is currently passed out though, and his breathing is really heavy and snoring.
Okay, so then he wouldn't resist being tipped over.
You don't know. I mean, like, you don't know if he's going to wake up right or whatever, but...
Wait. I have an idea.
What?
Silence. How much of the rope did you tie off to the boat? Wait, I don't care. There's so much rope all around us. Silence, could you
tie this elderly man up.
Yes, I could, but probably not in the way you would like.
I'm not really concerned with how he would like. I just need him bound like a prisoner.
I could do that, yes.
And then, once he's bound and unable to fight back, I will then heal him.
Okay. I'll do it.
Great.
I will try and collect any sodden rope I can get and...
Okay, so while Mimir and Mac are paying attention to this particular individual, and Silence is off sort of like grabbing around, and trying to find enough rope to be able to tie this person up. And Silence, you notice that this, like I said, this individual is almost like, this is a larger side of Mawpoc. There's a lot of bulk to them as well. So you realize that you're going to need you're going to need a lot of rope, but you're going to need to tie it in such a way that, like, to be able to bind this person who looks like they've got a relatively amount of muscles. We're going to cut to Auryn's hooves coming back onto the ship for the second time. You've gone and take the rowboat and you've come back and you climb back onto the ship, and you hear some voices going on downstairs, which you think is your friends below.
I listen in to see what they're saying.
You can't get a lot of detail. It sounds really muffled, and it's really sort of like distant, but you can hear a little bit because they're at the other side of the ship. They're on the essentially the front of the ship.
And I can't get over there, right?
Well, you could if you cut a hole into the structure that is the hole itself, right? You could get down and kind of cut yourself into that if you wanted to.
I don't think I can. Okay. For the fact that I said I would just be grabbing stuff.
Okay.
I am curious, but is there more stuff to bring over? Like, is there more barrels or?
Oh, there's plenty more barrels. Like there's at least 6 more rum barrels, and then there's some other cargo containers or crates that were indicated by Mac.
Okay. Can I take my great axe and just like kind of pry open the crates and see what's inside of them?
So
see if they're worth taking.
Most of them are honestly open. I need you to give me some sort of appraisal or an intelligence check of some kind here.
Oh, good.
Because I need to know how well Auryn actually, kind of is able to appraise these things.
I'm seeing if I have any skills that would help. No. My intelligence. All right, this is gonna be Big Daddy. Big Daddy Kane. That is, I rolled a 5. And I have a -1, so 4.
So you see lots of items that look like powders and leaves and berries, all kinds of herbs and stuff.
Okay.
Right? All of them look, for the most part, dried. There are some fresh berries. They're nice, shiny, bright, and red and plump. But on smelling them, you realize that they are definitely not for consumption. At least not the kind of consumption that you're looking for. They don't smell like anything you've had before.
Okay.
And opening up other ones, of course, you find some some trade goods. There's like a stuff for a sale or that kind of a thing. But for the most part, you don't really get a sense that any of these things. You can't get a sense of whether they have value or not. You just know what you were told.
And the sails, are they colored?
No,
they're just plain white sails.
They're just plain white sails.
That's all that's in that crate is just sails. Like I like go
one crate is only just sails.
And the other one is like food items and powders.
Well, it's actually herbal items and medicinal things, and some of them stuff to make illicit drugs. But Auryn isn't going to know that.
But he thinks it's food and like spices. So he is going to grab that crate and put it in the boat. And then the 2 other rum ones. And then if there's nothing else, he would, if there's nothing else that sticks out to him or he doesn't see anything else around, he would get that sent over and back. But before he does that, he goes to where everyone is and can't go anymore. And he's like, hello.
Yes, Auryn.
Did you find the thing?
Working on it, I think.
Okay. Well, I'm almost done bringing the last shipment over. What else do we need?
I think that's it. If you bring that there and back, and then we'll bring this thing to the ship with you.
What is that thing? I
Um,
can't see you.
That's fine. I'm not really sure. It's very dark down here. We'll bring it up into the light, and then we can see what it is.
Okay. Is it anything heavy?
It's certainly not light.
Okay.
Yes.
If you can get it to me, I can carry it.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any gold coins down there?
Not as we found.
Oh. Okay.
Would you like one?
I think I would. I never had one.
Max sees Mimir roll his eyes. He goes, "Yeah, you know what? I've just found one down. That's right down here in the water. Found it.
Okay.
Oh,
Is there-
Mimsy.
Is there anything to
Sure.
fight?
Not yet.
Is there any dead crew?
Not yet.
You confuse me.
Well, welcome to the team.
Wait, do I confuse you?
No, the whole team seems to be confused by me. It's fine. Welcome.
Oh. Should I get Milo?
No,
He confuses you.
he doesn't confuse me. It's mostly leave him where he is. He has a lookout thing. The faster you go and return with the boat, the faster we can all get out of here with whatever
Okay,
this is.
I'm going now. And then
Thank you so much, Auryn. I'll see if I can find more gold for you.
Hooray! And he goes off.
Silence will
What
emerge
is-
from some water with a bunch of rope and says, "Wow, I hope no one was lying while I was down there."
Definitely wasn't. I told all, and he looks to Sionnach for a second. All truths, I think.
There wasn't a single lie in any of it.
Fair enough.
She's the captain.
I'll bring my collected ropes over towards this Mopok and begin working my magic on him.
Okay, so as you approach the Mopok, you hear that he's still snoring and just there's occasional coughing, but mostly just he's silent.
He's
Talk to
me?
about how do you do this? What is this? What does this begin to look like? Do you pull him? Do you try to pull him out, or do you just try to start to begin to bind him while he's there?
I'll start beginning to bind him while he's there and see if I can do that. Seems easiest.
All right. As your paw reaches out and you kind of touch part of his clothes, he kind of stirs a little bit, right? And you're just you hear a snort, you hear a snort and a snore and a cough, and then he just kind of goes silent. But as you're beginning to wrap this around, at some point you have to touch some of his fur. And in the dark, in this dim light, his eyes go wide, and he looks to you and he says, I told you not to touch me. And he begins to slowly rise and begins to kind of push off the ropes. And he says, your fate is now attached to mine, as his blade slowly begins to kind of rise. And he points it towards Silence. Your death is now tied to mine. And that's where we're going to end.
Dark Fortunes is an unMadeGaming production and a proud member of the Don't Split the Podcast Network. If you would like to learn more about the world of Dark Fortunes and get some behind-the-scenes looks, please join us on Patreon at patreon.com/unMadeGaming. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please take a minute to give us a 5-star rating and review on iTunes. Thank you for joining us on this high-seas adventure, and we'll see you next time on Dark Fortunes. So you've gathered up all of your books, your dice, and your friends, and you've sat down at the table to play your favorite fantasy role-playing game. And as you look around at the smiling faces and the array of snacks scattered across your table, you sit and think, man, what could be missing from this wondrous day? Well, friend, I'm here to tell you what's missing. And that's any of the amazing products made by our friends over at Elderwood Academy. If you think you're a fan of the sound of your shiny math rocks click-clacking around in your hand before you roll them, just imagine how good they'd sound rolling around in your very own custom Codex dice tower and landing in a matching dice tray. And at the end of the day, these dice trays are made to snap apart, roll up, and fit right inside the Codex dice tower, along with your dice, for easy cleanup. Our friends over at Elderwood Academy are artisans who craft amazing gaming products, including dice towers, dice trays, dice boxes, deck boxes, dice, and more. And all of their products are crafted to look like spellbooks, scroll cases, codexes, and other awesome fantasy gear that we love. So do yourself a favor and head on over to elderwoodacademy.com/don'tsplit and get your hands on one of these amazing products. And while you're at it, be sure to snap a few pictures and tag us on Instagram at DarkFortunesPod because we love dice and dice accessories just as much as you do. Happy gaming.